Hello, so I thought we were talking about a different subject, and one thing that I noticed that Nat King Cole, Natalie Cole, father. A lot of people, all I know is that Natalie Cole sing Unforgettable, Nat King Cole sing Unforgettable, other songs to Mona Lisa. Cause my grandfather was a big, huge fan, of his music when I was growing up on my dad's side, and I remember Natalie Cole, which I'm bringing this up as well, saying how she did in Los Angeles and Santa Monica somewhere, and she was the only quote black girl. None of us up here black genetically, and her mother, who's a high yellow woman, Maria Elton Cole, and you know, um, man, because she was darker than her, and made her feel that she was not pretty. Sometimes I forgot she was saying on Oprah, which led to Nat Cole being on drugs, in my opinion. Because when she was on Good Morning America back in the 80s, early 81, when I was a little baby, because I was born in 79, and she told Oprah back in 96 or 97 or 95 that she was high on heroin, I believe, right? So I kind of believe that because she said she wanted to be white when she was growing up, because it was 1950. And Um, a lot of people, I happened to read about Nat King Cole's racial experience that normally he never talked about, in my opinion. Um, well, see, one thing that Nat King Cole did was sympathize and go to get along doing segregate artists. He's from Alabama, and as long as you didn't cause no trouble, people think white folks, you were good. But when he bought a house from somebody, I think it was a captain, her wife or something, his wife, excuse me, a house. Now I thought the Ku Klux Klan came later on with Gates and LAPD, but no, baby, they said the Ku Klux Klan was active in 1950s in Los Angeles. Whoa. See, a lot of us people, ADS people, left and went up to Chicago. And I know that they had racism, but not extreme like the South. No, there was a California too back in the 1950s. I mean, I know about in the Arizona and somewhere like in that time when he used to lynch Mexican Americans. I heard about that too. The Klan. But not, I didn't think the activity was big. And when he moved in them all white neighborhood, they was harassing him then. But in the past, he was attacked in Alabama. I think he was singing with a white band, and these white girls was in the audience, and they put um, Nat King Cole and his white girl, white woman, something like that, and Nat King Cole and your daughter, or something like that, and they attacked him before. It's on Wikipedia. I'm trying to recap everything I read. The North Alabama was trying to attempt to kidnap him. Um, and when he was in Havana, Cuba, and he talking in Spanish, he had to go to Tropicana Club because the Hotel Nacional de Cuba said they had a color bar. They couldn't allow him to stay there. So he didn't want to break his contract. So he had to go stay at the Tropicana Hotel. And here it is, NAACP called him Uncle Tom for not, because he even said it himself that he never protest against segregation. He was a go along, get along, and he didn't understand how white people still in the body. He didn't understand if he was participating in civil rights movements, But no, he did like he was told, was slave. No offense, he's good or a legend, but he had slave mentality. And probably why he was smoking all of them cigarettes, because he died. Like my grandfather told me, when Nat King Cole died in the 60s, um, that's when people started looking at tobacco and cancer because he smoked so many cigarettes a day. You know, that's what's coming until he died. That's when, this dude even sang for Eisenhower. Eisenhower was a strong racist. He was part of the Ku Klux Klan. I heard that Eisenhower had black in him too on officialcodes.com, but he passed as white. And just like Warren G. Harding was part of the Ku Klux Klan and possibly had black ancestry. Warren G. Harding was president, he had no kids because, he didn't know about the truth might come out. Now looking at all that white dude in passing, he had a white wife, but it was the biggest fear back in those days. And it probably still is to this day. But he was part of the Ku Klux Klan, Eisenhower too. That's why Eisenhower had the anti-Hispanic law, Operation WICK, not to offend anybody Hispanic. I got Spanish, English, Spanish, Creole, but not Mexican. But Operation, Coco Wetback, this was called. Yeah, that Donald Trump defended on CNN, and I don't understand how many Hispanics. Well, if you have coconut, pocho, machista, Mijoras disease, of course you're gonna try it, but no, he wants you out of the country too. Talking Donald Trump. But just like about the good old being a good old a Negro boy mentality. No offense to Nat King Cole, he sang for Eisenhower. I wouldn't sing for Eisenhower because I like my head behind, ain't try to cuss here. But for real, so I kind of see why Nat King Cole went through this colorism, racism period, not only through the white people in her area, but in her own household. Her dark-skinned dad, who was go along, get along, and her color-ass mom, who I heard was part Mexican. Now, I haven't heard, I'm researching this, but I remember one of the women in Job Corps who was a counselor. She's Mexican-American, very intelligent woman, and she also even, she's like a Protestant. And she had to be careful because I didn't want to talk about religion in front of her. But she wanted to counsel at David El Corazon Jacobson, and she told me that Natalie Cole was part Mexican. And I mentioned Maria Ellington Cole, and I don't know if she related to Duke Ellington. And she said, yeah, that name Maria could be something. And then, of course, Nat King Cole performed a song in Spanish in Cuba and also sing by Veracruz, because rumor had her family from Veracruz, and that's where the African slaves came out. And actually, one of the Mexican singers who was a part of Afro-Latina history, who was mixed, but she had more African look. Of course, she was Miss Afro Mestiza, but they called Doña La Negra. Yeah, Doña La Negra. She was also friends with Sarah Cruz. Azúcar. So, yeah. And Nat King Cole's Spanish album was big in Latin America, like Mexico, Peru, Cuba, and So I'm not sure Natalie Cole was part Mexican because she died back in 2016 on New Year's Day. Sad. I remember coming from the club that night that she passed away. On New Year's Day 2016, 15 to 16, when I went to Midtown. But truth of the matter is, I heard that she was part Mexican. So, and she was a bright, high yellow woman. I mean, they have, black skin come in all different shades. But she was a stereotypical mixed, exotic looking woman. I'm talking about Maria Elton Cole. And I'm not sure if she was part Mexican or not. But they said that, like I said, Danny Cole, in her book, and she said on Oprah back in the 90s that she had this, about her being darker skin. She do have naturally hazel eyes. I know about that too. So that's some white DNA there too. But she went through a lot with her self-esteem, and I think that led to her being on drugs. And when she said she was seeing this can be everlasting love, this could be okay. And I remember I was a little boy, so I don't remember. I was a baby, toddler. Her being America on Go On America, but I remember seeing clips as I get older, and you can see what she talking to that white lady. Her eyes were big, Eyes became wide, and you could tell she was like dazed. So I knew now when she told Oprah that, like, oh, now I guess she was hot. So she was big in the '70s too, but her big break came in the '80s when she's in Pink Cadillac. Yeah, I remember back in the '80s, Pink Cadillac. Yeah, baby, I remember Nat Cole. And Natalie Cole was unforgettable back in 1991. When they had a hologram with her and her dad, and what I'm saying. So unforgettable. I love that song. And what other songs she had back in the day? I love me some Natalie Cole music back in the '80s. Yes, baby. I grew up in the '80s, so yes. And besides Pink Cadillac, there was some other song when Everlasting Love. So I got it's and Bruce Springsteen in the video. Yes, I remember. Baby, my grandma, my aunt had her tapes and her records. Yeah, baby, I love Miss Natalie Cole. But Natalie Cole went through a lot of colorism and self-esteem. Like I said, when she went to and actually, like I say, when I read about that, I know the Ku Klux Klan was in L.A. harassing Nat King Cole, you know, and they try to get him down in Alabama from. But see, like he said, and even High Yellow can pass for a typical Hispanic, exotic mixed. Derrick Marshall called him an Uncle Tom, and another guy from NAACP criticized him, saying that you never participated in anti-segregation. But later on in life, he did, before he died of cancer. So, but all these years, he was, and actually, yeah, it makes sense because he was a pioneer in music, and when it was mostly white at the time, um, so Nat King Cole, but I think that the stress relief was through smoking a bunch of cigarettes a day, like 8 packs of cigarettes. That my grandfather told me. And that's when he died. That's when people started to realize that was cancerous. So, but yes, I mean, he was a good singer, and so, but not to criticize, but yeah, he had that little coon mentality too, you know what I'm saying? And, but like I said, when it goes wrong, you can play the good old boy system all you want to and don't make them folks mad. They still gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? Same thing when I said about Toya Gray. I'm talking about when she was beating her son. Okay, her son that she emasculated from the white cops, okay, at the Baltimore riots, he can still do everything right and still be treated, get the NRGGR treatment, okay? I don't understand how people, like you had Bryce Watkins on, there was a Dr. Drew or some other show defeating corporal punishment and talking about that his grandfather told his mama, his single mama, that you better whip him because of black men. Oh, okay, y'all with that slave mentality, you gonna put more fuel to the fire. You gonna defend the slave master, the white supremacist by abusing your kid. Oh Lord, I saw my people, and I see why some people had distanced themselves from Bryce Watkins. I noticed that too. Even here Paris Milan and him going back and forth last year. Oh Lord, it was so much going on in 2018. I remember Natasha K and Lovey T, the Vibe show, everybody talking about his Mexican American wife, Afro Mestiza, by the way. And then Trey the King got attacked. And who else? Then you had Cynthia G and the Angry Man, who's part Hispanic, African American. They both of them going. I'm like, dang. Shoot, it was so much going on. Starbury and Tasha K and Cardi B mess. It was just so much going on, baby. Shoot, and it's still going in Paris, Marlon, and then they start attacking Chrissy. It's like most of the African American YouTubers were getting attacked last year. Yeah. Like, babe, what's going on up in here? So, for real. So, that's what it is. So, yeah, he had it, but boys, then that's when Paris Marlon, and then what's that bright lady, Yvette something? She had natural hair, light skin with green eyes. She started exposing Bart. And like I said, I knew this was gonna come because, like I said, when I saw him defending Cole, I don't defend that. It's slave mentality, it's false interpretation of the Bible. That's why these dudes acting aggressive. These dudes have these dudes that's being thuggish. These young ones, especially ones, they men are being sexually abused at home, not by their mama's boyfriend, some by their own dad. I mean, I heard so many stories, okay? No, for real. And they also get severely beaten, abused. So when they get in society, they project that same abuse on other people. That's why you see them attacking anybody, just not just African people, white, Hispanic. I mean, I'm not defending what they're doing, but we need to stop with this pushing throwing the abuse on the rug. Not to bring up R. Kelly, they ain't trying to get no mess with him, but I'm glad it came out because we as a people, African descent, and I know from being abused physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, narcissistic abuse, rigid abuse, whatever. We think that that's a joke. Okay, it is the same thing with the Malaya Davis case. Not only the Hispanic woman failed, the judge failed Malaya Davis, okay, with her Negroid nose, because I did notice that, and she did go to a HBU called TSU in Houston, okay, that's called like an is that Matthew Knowles teach, okay, I'm talking about Beyonce's dad, baby, and I saw her Negroid nose. I said, yeah, she got a black in her, besides she cannot deny it. She don't look like no black woman, but besides that, she has some Afro-Mexican in her DNA. Besides, okay, she won that failed Malaya Davis and let's go back to Brittany. Okay, Bowens and what's that man name? Darian Vance or either the Craig Davis or the dad. I don't know. I seen all of them failed the little girl. Okay, but not only see now this Malaya Davis case, R. Kelly, um, all these things. With our children, not only with girls but the boys, because even here in Texas, we have the extreme biggest child abuse deaths. And besides sisters, little girls, acting innocent, besides the men, guess who's the high rank? So-called black boys. I don't use one drop Metallica none of us. People like, yeah, acting innocent boys are the main one dying in child abuse, not only in white and non-cocoa black couples who adopt, no, within in our own community. Okay, a child abuse murders, deaths. And I know that's why when I called CPS, they failed me back in '94 when I called my grandmother. Trying to stay. I've been talking about kids, man. So I'm trying to commit suicide. Okay, they failed. They failed me. Back in '94, before I turned 15. So but I already know that CPS they have. So the reason I'm bringing this up, that all this swooping the abuse on the rug mess and say don't tell them white folk. I remember people telling me that too. I'm like, no, I'm actually being mistreated. I need to get out. Nobody, so-called Christian people, both Protestant and Catholic, which stop me from going to church because the diocese, when I said the diocese is very rigid, and Pope Francis was to see the diocese in Houston, oh, he'll kick everybody out. Okay, y'all, I'll be snitching on them priests, and I sure will, and I have before. We have emailed Vatican City, but still, nobody did not want to technically. A few people did, and I got scared. I admit that, but when they really got down, nobody wanted to reach out to him, and then when the abuses of the conspirators of it, the contributors of it was trying to reach out. You had people trying to guilt trip me and put me in shame for not visiting them. They forget that Jesus said that your enemies can be in your own house in Matthew 10. Yes, your own family, your toxic. He put separate the family. That's why, nobody want to mind their business about that. Okay, we bounce and job court. Okay, now they need to mind your business. Don't stay out with you more. So say please don't let you more. So please let you more side. Okay, all in my doggone business. I would love to be in their fan business and expose a lot of dirtiness. Do me too. I know don't my business either then. Shucks. But anyway, that's when y'all bad here. But no, they failed. And when I hear Boris Walker's talking about, well, my dear grandpa told my mama and stand up for the white folks. But he's a black boy in America. You gotta be, no. You just as guilty as a slave master. Please. If I had to raise my son like that, I'm taking my son out of the United States and go raise someplace and do like Josephine Baker. Do the Josephine Baker. I get out of here, you doggone right. Because to him, put my son and be be part of the problem. Y'all some stupid. That's some slave coon mentality. But anyway, so my point is that abuse, and even when she went through talking about Natalie Cole, her mama making her feel less than who because she came out dark. Okay, if no offense, okay, I guess West thing thought he'd have a high young child. Um, the man, excuse me, Natalie Cole, Nat King Cole, excuse me, but 9, 10, your children come out his color in the middle or your color. We don't, because our gene pool mix, I'm sure, besides he been dark skinned with a perm on his head, he has an Indian, Native American, white in him too. He no full blown black man. And she might not look the true black woman, okay, talking about the mom, but where she has Mexican in her, Afro-Mestiza, Mexican, Mestiza, whatever, okay, she still got some black DNA. So now until your child might come out dark, okay? That's besides that, that's why you have some black skin children dark skin, okay? Y'all know I talk about that on my channel. That I meant those who are dark. I mean, one dude ain't gonna say who he is, get too much because he's a drug dealer. Straight hair, bone straight hair like a Mexican. And dark skin instead of, okay, mother Mexican. I ain't gonna say who he is, cause I ain't trying to get no beef with him. Me and him cool. I ain't seen him in years, but I ain't trying to spill beans. Man, I'm gonna keep my name up to her. I don't want him trying to fight me, be Charles Thug and then get out Charles Thug and then, okay, with that dog talking, not to be the sister with dog talking in Mexican DNA. I mean, okay, I ain't trying to get no beef, but I talked about the other sister, had Kinky hair, what I'm saying? And then we had Roger on Tyra Banks show. Okay, hate on Mexicans, and his mother Mexican, he darker than me. Okay, what I'm saying? I'm lighter than him. I'm his sister Blanca's color. Okay, except my hair's not loose curly like hers. Okay, what I'm saying? You get my point. I just saying it's stupid. Okay, to assume so. If you didn't want a dark skinned child, not to be so. Sometimes you gotta let color struck folks be color struck. Okay. Cause I will go with somebody that love me for who I am, who ain't gonna care less what color of the kids and hair come out have unconditional love. She thought, I guess, that her child come out bright with so-called good hair, and then for it didn't. So she took her, and then her little white neighborhood, they been harassed by Ku Klux Klan, and then her husband, a dark skinned man who was a get on with that cool mentality. No offense, I mean he was a good legend, but I'm sorry. That couldn't be me. I'm sorry. I had to go do the just being baby. I can't do all that. I will know, baby. I know he want to live in Los Angeles. No, baby. In the cool clean in Los Angeles. No. Let me go to Paris, France. Go to Mexico. Some other. I'm not, baby. I'm not. No. So I'm sorry. That, and I see why she was taking drugs. Not defend. But most people in the baby boom generation, they was on dope. They was on dope because of abuse, sexual abuse. Like for Santana, Carl Santana, came out in the early 2000s and he was sexual abused. He was in Woodstock. He got sung by Africa. He got a Mexican man from Mexico, Bison, okay, who loves sisters. I'm a bitch called Santana fan. Okay, I'm gonna do a video. Oh yeah, yes. How am I? Everybody hear about Afro Latino? Yeah, this man showing his love for his Afro Mexican side. Viva Africa, something like that. Yeah, go ahead, call Santana. Anyway, Porty. He ain't no porcho. No, he not. No, he not. Now that's Mexican dudes like Carlos Santana. That's what I fool with. Okay, that's my brother right there. That's my daddy. That's my dad. That's my granddaddy for another time. Okay, you don't say for a mother for different whatever. Y'all get my point. Yeah, Carlos Santana. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so point is they were sexual abused. Something happening into this generation, they beating kids of all colors. Okay, when just white folk beating. You know what I'm saying? At that time, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So of course, all that mess you gonna try to find something to hide your pain. And they had Woodstock Free, they had sex and drugs and rock. So of course Natalie Cole fed through the cracks of that. And that's why that. And it's different when it comes to white people. They had treatment centers already open, drug treatment. But African descendant people, especially the crack epidemic back in the 80s and 90s, you going automatically in jail. You automatically in prison, in maximum prison time, in mass incarceration, slavery, 13 minutes. So you get my point, besides the thug hip hop that they had, the gangster rap and stuff. But truth of the matter is, that's the reason why. So I see why she. Do you understand that I was a hard headed child? I didn't like to listen to my elders because you can see through their BS. I ain't trying to cuss here, because you can see it come from the demonic, the functional, destructive pattern. You can just discern that and tell, and that's why I was like I was trying to be codependent as possible because I was venturing out to be independent and break away from that old badge, curse, tradition, we want to call it, okay? So I see why that these folks was on dope. Like if you was a big time drug dealer, you would made a killing with folks who came from abusive households. And they were beaten, mistreated, and they got punched in the face. That's not love. They destroyed the Bible to defend what they were doing. It just makes a lot of sense. So in that Nicole, like she said, so if her mama, I don't know if they were beating her, whooping her, and people were stereotyped because they were African descendant couple. But no, not all. Cause my great grandfather's dad on my grandfather's side, my grandfather told me his grandfather, his dad's side, told him that his dad told him that his dad never whooped him skull. And I said, no wonder I get that from him. And he was from Mississippi. Was so in Wood, Louisiana. But yeah, for real. So yeah, for real. So that's the reason that my paternal grandfather. Yeah, his dad's side. They in Louisiana, Cotton area. Bunch of all our business up here for real. But for real, that's the reason why. So that's why I have hit my second great grandfather's spirit on that side of the family, and that's why my grandfather, even though he bleeding whoop and scolding, he scolded me and whooped a few times forever, not like my grandmother did, but he put his foot down with my grandmother trying to be aggressive, and all the other stuff. So that's why nobody's screaming at me. My dad same way, even though he screamed, but he don't let nobody. He left a job, dudes screaming too. So we don't play. That's why that we don't play that mess. Okay, that scolding, chastising, tolerating mess. But that's why folks went on dope. This destructive pastime of the good old days. No, don't bring that old so-called ain't good, calling it good days mess of that mess, because that's why half y'all was drinking heavily, having sex, freaking, going with each other, same sex, opposite sex, sex revolution, and then some of y'all sickly in the head, some were abusing kids along with it with your nasty behind. I mean, don't bring that mess back and beating the, and beating the kids and getting a pleasure out of it. That's why that we have mental health issues to this day. So, scan lies, little one throw to a C in Matthew 18. And what's the other one? Colossians 3:21, don't provoke your kids to anger. I mean, it come to skirt. It's just right there. I forgot about them Bible verses. Correcting kindness, St. Paul told St. Timothy in Second Timothy chapter 2, 24, 26. I don't understand. So, they had a structured way of doing it. That's why Nat Nicole had a drug problem. It makes sense. Her mama thought that, I guess she thought with her genes that her daughter would come out bright, high, yellow, look like Lena Horne, look like Dark Dale, who's part Mexican, white, and black, and Native American, okay? No, that didn't happen, okay? You chose a dark-skinned man, and plus he was a ghetto, as reading from Wikipedia, he was going to get lost by a bright, high yellow man cannot too much pass ass white, but still, was exotic looking. Talking about Therical Marshall today, he probably think he was Hispanic. Mexican Puerto Rican would ever say that he was an Uncle Tom, and you had another, ACP saying the same thing because he wasn't participating, but he thought it would come from Alabama. If you go Alabama, And man, you know, man, Lord have mercy. Oh, I got roots in Alabama too, both on my white and my black side. Okay, you know what I'm saying? My grandmother on my dad's side, her great grandfather, no, her grand, no, that her great grandfather, her maternal grandmother's dad. He was from Alabama, moved to the East Texas. Okay, you know, that's one shot white man's head off. They had to run to Houston. Okay, yeah. So that's why I say that Pimp C not could be related because I'm trying to tell too much info for that last name Butler. I go ahead and say it. Okay, yeah. If your Butler's come from Alabama to East Texas, yes, and you yes, that my third grandfather on that side found shot a white man's head off. He showed did, and they had to run to Houston. Doing that back in the 1800s. I ain't tell all the business up here, but they all dead and gone. But still, and then but yeah. So and then my fourth grandmother who was a white on my grandmother on my mama's side's family tree. My great grandpa Red's great grandma, his paternal grandfather, who like a white man's mama, a white mama. She was from Alabama before. She one of them Anglos, you know, Manifest Destiny. When they're trying to steal Texas from Mexico, she came in that year. She told it. Her family came in. Okay, from Alabama, but it was from Georgia and Virginia, and she was Irish and English descent. Okay, so but I know my roots, but and I've been in Alabama myself. But no, something by Alabama that they had a slave mentality. Not all, but some of them got a slave mentality. Cause the man at the nose from there. And then you had Nat King Cole from there. Not everybody can generalize. I don't know what it is. And actually, you got Creoles. Creoles in Alabama too. Yeah. Besides, they went to Mississippi and Alabama too for real. Okay, Creole. Yeah. You know, and that's the Spanish went that actually it's the Spaniard, white Spaniard conquistadors like they went to Louisiana. They went to Alabama, Mississippi too. They're the ones who found my tribe. That's named American Choctaw. Yeah, for real. Their European was Spanish. So that makes a lot of sense. But I don't know in Spanish. That's how my grandma and dad's side found out that Spanish on my mom. My grandmother's side, since my third grandfather's wife, my third grandmother, her dad was a Real. Okay, so that makes sense. And his family from Louisiana. Okay, born in Texas. But anyway, point is, so but I don't know what it is about that Alabama. I don't know what it is about that Alabama. Lord have mercy. What type of voodoo curse down there? Okay, some but no, but I guess so. He was a get on. That's why that and she thought that maybe her little girl come out looking more like her, and probably somehow blend in with the white people, but she didn't. So I don't know. It's just something about that situation. But it led Nat Nicole to have a lot of drug issues because she had a lot of self-esteem issues growing up. She did, and she talked about on Oprah, and she was shocked the fact that she was black. Of course, your kids, you don't know what color you are, and someone, until you start to recognize by adults teaching and conditioning, brainwashing. But anyway, that's all I gotta say. But for real, a lot, he went through a lot, and I see why he probably smoked so much cigarettes. That's a drug to the nicotine. Anyway, y'all, bye. Have a nice time.